Northwest Georgia High School Football Scoreboard is brought to you by Alpha Insurance, Al Smith Agency. See them for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs. Call Al Smith at 706-529-6786.
Hey, and welcome into the NwGA Football Friday Night Scoreboard Show. Great night of high school football around the Northwest Georgia area. A lot of games came down to the final snap, final series. We'll get you caught up on all the scores here. Make it a quick night. But just seeing a few of these scores myself as I roll in here. Carrollton defeated Westlake 31-7. Carrollton was just up 10-0 at halftime. Big second half for the Trojans. North Paulden falls to McEachern 34-21. Rome with another big night, shutting out River Ridge 55-0 at Barron Stadium. Still don't have any scores from East Paulden and Paulden County. If anybody has those, chime in on YouTube, Facebook, and we'll get those scores updated. South Paulden with a big win, 49-0 over Alexander. Spartans, still looking for a playoff spot. Huge game up in Dalton tonight. I was lucky enough to catch the tail end of this one. Dalton hangs on and beats Calhoun 28-21. Calhoun fumbled the ball on the 1-inch line with about 2.5 minutes to go. Dalton was able to hang on. A huge win for the Catamounts. They'll head to Cartersville next Friday night to play for the region championship, head-to-head with the Purple Hurricanes. Creekside 35-17 over Villa Rica. Hiram with the big win, 50-20 over Cass. I'll have to look at the standings, but just right off the top of my head, I think that pretty much locks up the 4 playoff spots in 7-5A, with Cass being the team left off. Cartersville last night beat Woodland 43-0. Central 61-0 over Southeast Whitfield. Lions continue to roll. Cedartown with a big win tonight, 45-0 over Sonoraville. Probably the upset of the night. Heritage beats Northwest Whitfield at home 28-21. Bremen 44-7 over Cahulla Creek. Ringgold 35-7 over Ridgeland. Adairsville last night beat Gordon Lee 40-7. Gilmer hangs on to beat Dawson County 31-24. I think that gets Gilmer into the playoffs. Pickens 35, West Hall 12. Nice win for Pickens heading into the final 2 weeks of the season. Lafayette last night beat LFO on the road 35-24. Fannin County beats Murray County 42-14. Rockmart 43, Gordon Central 7. And a game that went down to the final possession tonight. Motto was leading North Murray 14-13. Under 2 minutes to go, under a minute to go. North Murray scores, goes for 2. Goes up 21-14. And with 44 seconds left, they onside kicked it, recovered. North Murray guaranteed a home playoff game. They will play Rockmart in 2 weeks for the region championship. Trine with the big win tonight, 35-14 over Pepperell. Toby Maddox with 4 more touchdowns for the Bulldogs. Dade County, 42-7 over Chattooga. Dade put up over 300 yards of offense tonight. Last night, Darlington, 49-7 over Armurchie. Heard County with a big win tonight, 42-13, as they head to Temple next Friday night for a home playoff battle. And Christian Heritage over Asheville Christian, 48-33. Like I said, if anybody was in any of the games tonight, man, want to give a shout out to anybody, tell us what they saw, what they heard, what they seen. We'll be here 15, 20 minutes or so. We'll get all your comments on the air. Big W by the Nears, man. What a game. Absolutely. I was surprised to look down at halftime and see that score at 0-0, especially with the type of offense that North Murray has. They've been putting up 40 points a game every Friday night. We knew the model defense was good going in, but 0-0 at the half. Model takes the lead. Had to lead 14-13 up until under a minute to go. Mountaineer score. Pretty gutsy move there at the end to call the onside kick, recovered, and were able to run the clock out. Calhoun and Dalton. Calhoun and Dalton, question mark. Yeah, Dalton beat Calhoun 28-21. I don't know what the question mark is there. I don't know if you're just looking for the score or you can't believe it or what, man. But Dalton Catamounts, they continue to impress, surprise. I know we all picked against them this week on our Pick'em show. The Catamounts are for real, man. Like I said, they're playing Cartersville next Friday night for the region championship in Cartersville. Great game. I know Dalton jumped out to a 21-7 lead early. Calhoun fought their way back. Adriel Hernandez went in for the go-ahead touchdown, 28-21. Dalton hung on right there till the end. Like I said, Calhoun turned the ball over on the 1-inch line. I think they stretched out to score the tying touchdown, and the ball came loose as he stretched his arm out across the goal line, and Dalton recovered and was able to hang on. Trying to see if there's any more surprising scores around here. Heritage over Northwest Whitfield has to be a surprise. I think that kind of, with Sonoraville losing tonight at Cedartown, I think that kind of clears up the 4 playoff teams in 7-4A. You've got Central at number 1, of course. They've already beaten Cedartown. Heritage had a chance to compete for that region title, but they dropped that game tonight at Heritage. So I think you're going to have Central, Cedartown. Looks like Heritage is going to get the 3 spot. And Northwest has the tiebreaker over Sonoraville. So at this point, there's still 2 weeks to play. A lot of stuff to sort out for the 3 and 4 spot, but I think Sonoraville is going to be the odd man out in 7-4A. Yeah, Jason, you're welcome, man. Like I said, great game. I was able to catch the end of that one on their YouTube feed, and outstanding game, man. Hats off to Dalton Catamounts. Heck of a team they have there. Moving down to 6 AAA. Big matchup next Friday night. 2 5-0 teams in the region. Adairsville, Bremen. That's who it's coming down to. Bremen travels to Adairsville. Bremen with a big win tonight over Color Creek, 44-7. Adairsville had a big win last night over Gordon Lee, 40-7. Setting up for a monstrous game next Friday night in Adairsville. Gordon Lee and Color Creek still looking at the number 3 and number 4 spot. Gordon Lee has the tiebreaker over Color Creek for the 3. But Gordon Lee still has to play Ridgeland next week, and they have to win that game to guarantee themselves a playoff spot. Or Ringgold could sneak back in there. Ringgold with a big win tonight over Ridgeland, 35-7. And for all those jumping back in, we'll go over the scores one more time. Like I said, you can join us on Facebook, join us on YouTube, get your comments live on the air. I'll try to answer them the best I can. Flying solo tonight. Ringgold had 3 quarterbacks out the last 2 games, as well as Hayden Fries. Fries and Edgar were back tonight. Yeah, that's good to hear, man. I saw Hayden Fries week 1 versus Heritage, man. I was real impressed with that kid. Tough running back. Hated it when he went out. I know Ringgold's struggled a little bit since all those guys went out, but I mean, they can only do what they do now, win out, and hope they get some help from Ridgeland down the road. Hop back over here, and we will go over the scores one more time. Carrollton with a big win, 31-7 over Westlake. That should give the Carrollton Trojans the region championship. McEachern, 34-21 over North Paulding. North Paulding likely to get the 3 or 4 seed in their region, go on the road first round. Rome continues to roll, 55-0 over River Ridge. I think the score at halftime was 41-0. Still waiting on East Paulding, Douglas County score and a Paulding County, New Manchester score. Big win for South Paulding, 49-0 over Alexander. Dalton, the big upset over Calhoun, 28-21. Like we said, setting up the region championship next Friday night in Cartersville. Creekside, 35-17 over Villa Rica. Hiram, according to my abacus, clinched the playoff spot tonight, beating Cass 50-20. Hiram offense has been super impressive this year. I mean, even against Calhoun, they put up 600 points a game in a losing effort. 600 yards in a losing effort. Going to be a tough first-round battle for somebody over there. Cartersville, 43-0 over Woodland last night. Central, 61-0 over Southeast Whitfield. Cedartown shuts out Sonoraville, 45-0. Heritage with the upset tonight, 28-21 over Northwest Whitfield. Bremen, 44-7 over Coahulla Creek. Ringgold, 35-7 over Ridgeland. Adairsville last night, 40-7 over Gordon Lee. Gilmer, I believe, clinched a playoff spot with their win tonight, 31-24 over Dawson County. Pickens, 35-12 over West Hall. Lafayette with a win last night over LFO, 35-24. Fannin, 42-14 over Murray County. Rockmart, 43-7 over Gordon Central. North Murray, last minute touchdown to beat Model, 21-14. Sets up a region championship game in 2 weeks with Rockmart. Trine, 35-14 over Pepperell. Dade County, 42-7 over Chattooga. Darlington, 49-7 over Armurchie. Heard County, 42-13 over Mount Zion. And Christian Heritage, 48-33 over Asheville Christian. Was it Central game last night and Carrollton Westlake game tonight? This is from Jake Keller. Carrollton defense really played well. Region champs and Lawrence. You were just, yeah. Like I said, Jake, I think we've had this discussion before. 35 is the max. I'm willing to post. Douglas County 48, East Paulding 14. Looks like Douglas County locks up the number 1 seed. Yeah, I think Douglas County is the 1. Langston Hughes is the 2. And if I'm not mistaken, East Paulding needs one more win over maybe New Manchester, Alexander, somewhere down the road to clinch the 3 spot. And I believe South Paulding could possibly slide into that number 4 seed. Anybody have any news on Tyler Rogers for Pepperell? Concern coming from our Armurchie guy. Looked pretty nasty when he got rolled up in tonight. I did not see that. I did not see the injury, but if anybody has information, let us know. And as far as the 7A playoff picture goes, man, there's a huge game next Friday night in Lindale. Dade County travels to Pepperell. If Dade County wins their last 2 games, which is at Pepperell and at home versus Armurchie, Dade County will wrap up the number 2 seed in 7A. If Trine beats Darlington, of course, game 10, which is no guarantee based on last night's results from Darlington. That is. The Pepperell Trine game was back and forth in the first, but throughout the game, it got out of hand. Much respect to Trine. They got a good football team. Outstanding football team. Physical. They can throw the ball, run the ball. Stokes tonight in the first quarter, man, had a heck of a game. Caught 3 passes for about 50 yards through a 40-yard pass. If you haven't seen Stokes at tight end, man, heck of a kid. About 6'2", 6'3", 240. Trine's going to be a tough out come playoff time for sure. But yeah, if back to our 7A discussion there. Yeah, if Dade County Pepperell game is huge next Friday night. If Dade beats Pepperell, I think that eliminates the Armurchie Indians from playoff contention, unless they, can upset Trine next Friday night. If Pepperell beats Dade, I think that puts the Tryon-Darlington game as the region championship and the Armurchie-Dade game as the battle for 4th, week 10. But like I said, don't quote me on any of that. Dade County comes to Lindo. Yes, they do. That's going to be a good game. Yeah, I like Trine's coach. Kevin Fountain says, I like Trine's coach, tough and hard nosed, old school, man. And he was fired up tonight. I like guys like that too, man. He was coming off the sidelines, congratulating people, getting people fired up. You could tell that, they were playing with a chip on their shoulder tonight. Maddox fumbled on the first series. Pepperell got the ball, had a chance to score a go-ahead touchdown to begin the game. But I think after that play, Maddox definitely played with a chip on his shoulder for the rest of the game. 4 touchdowns. Dude was hitting people on the defensive side of the ball. Jake Keller says, Central finishes at Northwest Whitfield and Heritage. Can Central still have the number 1 seed with a loss to one of those teams since they have a win over Cedartown? I'm hoping they don't lose one, but didn't know. I know for sure if they lose, man, that's complicated. I was about to say, because Northwest Whitfield only has 1 loss right now, tonight to Heritage, but they play Cedartown. So I'm going to go with just the computer projections here. I'm just going to go with the math, You would assume that Northwest would end with 2 losses, Heritage and Cedartown, even with the upset of Central. Heritage lost to Cedartown already. So, yeah, I think they're in pretty good shape. I think the Lions are in pretty good shape. I don't foresee them losing to Northwest or Heritage, but you never know. But I think with 1 loss, they'll still get the 1 seed with the tiebreaker over Cedartown. But I could be wrong. Uh, 7-2A. 7-2A is pretty much locked up tonight as far as the order goes. Rockmart and North Murray will play in 2 weeks in Rockmart, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, for the region championship. Model clinched the 3 spot tonight. And week 10, you'll have Fannin County traveling to Haralson County for the 4th and final playoff spot in 7-2A. What's going on, Mr. Burge?
Not much. Just getting back in the hacienda.
How was that trip to Magic Morgan?
I mean, the trip was good. Results not so good.
What was the final?
Much more physical game. 42-7 was the final. They just pushing Sugar around up front, just kind of gashing them here and there. Really, just a little bit more of the same, and then just punishing 20, just a punishing runner. You might hit him at 3 yards, he's still getting 5 or 6. I mean, it just falls forward for the first down.
I know
Stuger had a couple of drives where they got stuff going. They carried down the field 60, 70 yards and, just stall out, especially early. And then it was just kind of a run the clock out after that.
Yeah, I know this isn't a pick'em show, but you've seen them both. What do you think about Dade and Pepperell? A huge game next Friday night.
I think if Dade can stay on schedule, then they're going to be tough. It's just physical. It's a physical brand of football, and 20 is going to get yards. I mean, I don't care who you are; he's going to get yards on you. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I think if you ask me who the more explosive team is, I'd say Pepperell. But I would give Dade the physicality, and their defense played well. And man, I'd have to reserve judgment on who I think would win. I'd have to think about it a little more.
Yeah, I saw one of the comments up here. It must have happened in the second half, but Tyler Rogers went out. He got rolled up on. Somebody said it looked pretty nasty. That's going to be important. if he's 100% healthy or not next Friday night.
Very important. I'll probably give Pepperell some locker room material, but without Tyler Rogers, I'm not sure they beat Dade County. It is at Pepperell, so that'll help Lindale, but
Yeah, J-Dog says Tyler wasn't putting any weight on one leg. I'm not sure about this injury.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too bad. Right. He can
go. Yeah. You want to see both teams at the most healthy they can be, especially fighting for that position they're in.
Juju just signed a 6-figure NIL deal with a trading card company, same company as high-profile college players like Caleb Williams and Brock Bowers. It's starting to get real very quickly.
Yeah, I did see where he signed that, and I seen his high school senior card or whatever high school card or whatever you want to call it. Well, what is he? Sophomore, junior?
Sophomore, yeah.
That's what I thought. So
just a sophomore. Like I said, I think
his sophomore card come out.
I think the NIL deal for high school players is going to be more for those, top 20 to 100 players in the country that, have their names out all over the country. But hey, if you want to get your name out, man, we tell you every week, just come on our show.
Yeah,
we have pretty good audience here, man. We'll be nice to you.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Trying there for real, but on to Dade County.
It's gonna be a heck of a ball game. I don't know if you played out any of the scenarios in this region yet, but I think Darlington's sitting there with one loss, correct?
Yep. Yeah, we were just going over that right before you came on the air. I think if Dade wins out, they finish as a 2 seed.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. Dade still has the opportunity to move all the way up.
If they beat Pepperell and beat Armurchie, I think they're guaranteed the 2. And, if Tryon beats Darlington, of course, Tryon's the 1. And if Tryon beats Darlington, I think, Pepperell with the tiebreaker over Darlington right now. Darlington finishes as a 4 seed if Dade beats Pepperell. Now, if Pepperell beats Dade, it gets kind of confusing, I think, right?
Let's see. Yeah, I think it would come down to if Pepperell beats Dade, would it not come down to Armurchie and Dade for the final spot, week 10 or the last week?
What if Pepperell beats Dade and Darlington beats Tryon? Then what do you got?
A cluster mess. I don't know. Let me look at the.
I'll let you look at that, and I hit some of these comments here.
Go ahead.
But yeah, Bremen and Daresville next week for the region championship. Yep, that is it now. With Bremen and Daresville both winning tonight, big. That's it. There's no other way. I was watching on Facebook Live and pulled up on 75-inch TV when Roger's leg came out from under the guy. His foot was sideways. Ooh. It was so bad. Number 8 from Tryon came over and held his leg still, keep it from moving.
Oh.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's
sound good.
Yeah. Pepperell quarterback and running back both went out late in the game and didn't return. Rogers had to have help off the field. Those 2 are huge for Pepperell, and if one or both are out next week, could be huge for them.
Yeah, if both are out, then I'm looking here. Everybody, let's see. Tryon is still got 2 games left. 4-0 or 5-0 in the region? 1, 2, 3, 4-0 in the region.
Yep, 4-0.
All right. Darlington at 4-1. Now, what was your scenario now?
If Pepperell beats Dade and Darlington beats Trine. They all end with one loss, right? Wouldn't you have three teams?
Dade has 2 losses. Yeah,
But
yeah.
Pepperell, if Pepperell beats
beat
Dade.
Yeah, they would all have 1 loss, and they would all have beat each other.
So it'd go to that crazy tiebreak system, whatever the tiebreak system they've decided on, which, I mean, we don't know.
And then,
Mystery.
still the Dade Armurchie winner would be your 4 seed, but yeah, your top 3 could be jumbled up. I don't even know what the tiebreak system is in this particular region.
No. The only thing I know, the only thing I can say, being an Armurchie Indian fan, is if you're an Armurchie Indian fan, you need to go out and buy you all the Pepperell stuff you can buy this week and wear it, because Pepperell has to beat Dade for us to have a chance to make playoffs. Right? I think if Dade wins Friday night, I think they got Trine Friday night, and anything can happen. But
yes,
you got one, yeah.
Yeah. You expect them to go to 2 and 3 in the region. I expect that. You never know.
Then they play Dade the final week of the season.
So yeah, if Dade wins, they'd go to 3 and 2. The worst they could be would be 3 and 3. And then they would be tied. Armurchie could still get to 3 and 3 if they split. I don't know what would happen there. That'd be crazy if you had a 3-way tie at the top and a 2-way tie for 4th.
Yeah, I believe the tiebreaker is margin of victory head to head. Yeah, that's what I always thought. Margin of victory head to head, but then they started doing that plus or minus 15 thing. Where if you beat somebody by 30, the most points you can get is 15.
Yeah,
and doing it like that. But I mean, everybody has their own way of doing things. Which I know if y'all saw my post on Twitter this week, man, if I could ask one question to GSA is make it a universal tiebreak system.
Yep. For all regions. And, I'll pose you a what if here. Next year, say this was the region for next year, which it may not be, it may be, who knows. If you're busting up all these games, does that eliminate people? Is there a possibility that, say, only 2 or 3 of these teams make the playoffs next year? You don't have to have 4 participants per region, right?
Nope.
So there's possibility there could be regions left out.
Well, I think the region champion, unless you're unfortunate to get stuck in a region with a private school that wins your region championship, the region winner automatically qualifies. But if a private school wins your region, then yeah, you can all get left out.
I ain't even gonna go with how not right that is. I ain't even going.
Yeah.
I know there's no other way to do it. There's no way to play private in the region because there's not enough teams.
No, there's just 2 of them here. Dalton and Christian Heritage, only 2 around.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions still out there as far as this reclass goes, and I'm not sure when the next meeting is, but I'll be interested to see what the minutes have on it.
Yeah, from what I understand, like I said, it's not written in stone yet. So if they're doing away with the private schools, what team would take Darlington's spot in the region? The way I took it was the private schools are still going to be in the region, but they're going to have different playoffs, right, yes, for the private and public. But you're still going to have to play them in the region, and they still could win the region championship.
Yep. Which we spoke about, that they could change your number, your ranking, power ranking, but That could be the reason why you're out of the playoffs, and you're not even playing in the playoffs against them. And
Like I said,
that's the one thing that I don't like, but I don't see how I don't see how you can avoid that.
Yeah, but before we sign off, man, you want to give a shout out to the Dalton Catamounts?
Okay. I hadn't seen all the scores, so
Oh no,
I'm guessing if you're saying that to me, I'm guessing they pulled another one.
yeah, I will go over them right quick before we get off here.
Yeah,
You tell
go
me if
go over them
if
because
anything catches you. All right.
I oh boy.
Carrollton 31-7 over Westlake. McEachern beats North Paulden 34-21. Rome beats River Ridge 55-0. Douglas County beat East Paulden. Still waiting to hear from Paulden County, New Manchester. South Paulden with a 49-0 win over Alexander. Dalton, big win over Calhoun, 28-21.
Oh, 5A.
Creekside, 35-17 over Villa Rica. Hiram, 50-20 over Cass. Cartersville, 43-0 over Woodland. Central, 61-0 over Southeast Whitfield. Cedartown shuts out Sonoraville, 45-0. Heritage upsets Northwest Whitfield, 28-21. Bremen, 44-7 over Coahulla Creek. Ringgold, 35-7 over Ridgeland. Adairsville, 40-7 over Gordon Lee. Gilmer clinches a playoff spot with a 31-24 win over Dawson. Pickens, 35-12 over West Hall. Lafayette, 35-24 over LFO. Fannin County, 42-14 over Murray County. Rockmart, 43-17 over Gordon Central. North Murray scores in the last minute to beat Model, 21-14. Trine, 35-14 over Pepperell. Dade County, 42, Chattooga 7. Darlington, 49, R. Murchie 7. Heard County, 42, Mount Zion, 13. And Christian Heritage, 48-33 over Asheville Christian. Yeah, man, if you get a chance this week, go back and watch the last 2 or 3 minutes of that Dalton Calhoun game and tell me what you think about that goal line play. Calhoun had the ball at the 3-yard line with a chance to tie.
They didn't pull a Jimbo Fisher, did they?
They ran up the middle. Dude stretches out, tried to get the ball in the end zone, and he lost control of the ball, and it rolled into the end zone. Dalton recovered. Some people might have say he was down at the time, but I don't know. It was close, super close. It kind of looked like the ground, and it kind of looked like the ground caused it to come out. Like when he stretched out and he laid out, that when the ball hit the ground, it bounced up into the end zone. But they called it the fumble. Dalton recovered in the end zone. They were able to hang on and win, man. Huge win for Dalton. Region Championship next Friday night in Cartersville, man. Dalton, Cartersville.
Well, I know who the Dalton fans want me to pick.
You're about 0-8 this year, right?
I literally picked against them every win they've got. I picked against them against Cass. I picked against them against Rockmart earlier in the year. I mean, I literally, of course, I picked Calhoun. So I'm not going to apologize to the Dalton fans. I'm just going to continue it and pick Cartersville next week, and then Dalton's going to win the championship.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think the other surprising result for the night, or exciting result, was North Murray Model. I mean, how about that game being 0-0 at halftime?
Yeah, I would have never thought that. That's just wild. I mean, especially with the points that North Murray's been putting up.
In the last play of the game, man, the guts North Murray had scoring, 44 seconds left, up 21-14, and they onside kicked it.
Wow. Crazy, man.
Crazy.
You have any idea where you're going to be next week?
Probably going to Daresville.
Yeah, for the de facto championship game.
Yeah. I think it should be a pretty good game.
I think so. I think you're gonna see a good one there. I think that's gonna be a pretty darn good one.
You guys on bye next week, or y'all go to Coosa?
Coosa comes to Chattooga, and then the last week of the season, I hadn't totally made my mind up yet, but I'm pretty sure I'll be at Tryon Darlington. I think that's going to be a.
Yeah, that'll be a good game.
So
Yeah, I'll be at that one.
what's the new quarterback's name for Darlington?
Luke Parker.
And was
5
that
touchdown
done out of
passes.
necessity? Somebody injured, or is that just?
Yeah, I think the starter was hurt. He stepped in, man, threw 5 touchdown passes last night. His brother was the quarterback at Cartersville a couple years ago.
Okay, so he's got a little bit of a lineage, dare I say.
Yeah, I'm either going to be at that one, or if it comes down today to our Murchie at Magic Morgan for the 4th, I'll probably go up there and watch that one.
Did you say Drew Parker?
Is it Drew or Luke? I thought it was Luke. It could be Drew.
I see a Zach Parker. I don't see any other Parkers. I see a Luke Parker, number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Luke Parker.
So we need to go to Central, man. It's got Jake Keller says we need to go to Central and see Central and Northwest Whitfield. You know that game would have been interesting if Northwest Whitfield hadn't lost tonight. I'll be honest.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking about in the playoffs, looking to see who Central might match up and might get down there to Central in the playoffs. Man, I think that could be a good one, a good game to go see. Let's see who do they match up against.
Kelly Fountain says Darlington has to beat Tryon by 12 or more if there's a tiebreaker. So Darlington really has to put it on them. It can't be a close win.
I just don't. I don't see a blowout in the cards. It'd be tough.
Yeah, they match up with we're talking about 7-4A. They match up with 6-4A.
Okay.
Which I think is what, like Stevenson, schools like that.
Yeah, that's where I was making my way over there right now. Now, it might be the next round before you see a matchup. Let's see, 6-4A.
Well, Eric, I can tell you, Eric, you're in good shape, man, because you, Scott, and the fella in 3rd place. This is Pick'em. This is Pick'em talk here. All 3 of you guys had the same exact ballot this week. I didn't publish it. I'll have it up in the morning. But all 3 of you guys had the same picks. So nobody gained, nobody lost.
Let's see here. You said 6.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull. There we go. Region 6-4A. Yeah, Westminster, Stevenson, Hatfield Charter, Holy Innocents would be the first round matchup right now.
That's pretty good games, man. I mean, all 4 of those teams are solid.
Holy Innocents is sitting at 7-1.
And they're the 1 seed right now.
No, they're the 4 seed right now. They're 2-1. It's a 4-way tie for first. They're all 2-1. So that could be any of those teams. If I had to guess, just by looking at the points for and the overall record, I think Hatfield will probably end up being your 4 seed.
Yeah, I had this discussion with somebody earlier tonight, man. I think Cedartown may be better than what we thought, huh?
Yeah, I think Cedartown's getting their sea legs, and I think they're coming around, and I think they'll be a tough out. I'm not sure. There's a lot of pretty good teams, and I mean they've been there before, so I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of look back to Central now. They lost to Central, played Dalton, played Calhoun, played Rockmart. I mean, if we go back and look at that, that's a heck of a schedule, and they played them all tough.
Murderer's row, yeah. It is.
All right, man. Let me head down the road here.
Yep. I'll see you.
And we'll be back. Yeah, and we'll be back on this week, man, for the Pick'em Show. Week 11. Only 2 more weeks to go, man, till playoff time.
Wow. I'm sure we'll throw a playoff special together.